Okay, day 94. This is part two, Braverman, Haiti, and me. So I think I did a pretty good job this morning of, sorry about the focus there, of talking about DynCorp and how DynCorp is the key to the black budget of about 30 different federal agencies. And as I've said before, all the things that the government doesn't want you to see, they submerge below in this black budget. And this is all these things of vaccination programs, USAID, the micro loan sharking, the organ harvesting. And if you don't believe the organ harvesting, just go to WikiLeaks and search for organ harvesting and watch your page fill up with DynCorp references from Kosovo and other places. It's going to be it's going to be in Afghanistan. It's going to be in Pakistan. It's going to be wherever there's been a war. It's going to be in Iraq. It's going to be in Syria. It is in Syria. So you're going to find that. And it's going to be in Haiti. And it's going to be in the United States. So we're not quite there yet. So if you haven't followed the series, the overt things we saw in terms of war, we're using Osprey Global. I was waiting for the page to change, to disrupt governments. But once you're in the police stage, this is the police stage, which is DynCorp, then all this other stuff starts happening. The human trafficking, the organ harvesting, the asset forfeiture in the United States, and so forth. It's all going to center around this man right here, Pug Winokur. And I hear a lot of people talking on the comments and saying, oh, this is just so vast, it's never going to be solved. Well, it just like triaging a heart problem in a human being. You can't really solve the problem until you get to the heart of the problem. And I'm telling you right now, Pug Winokur is the heart of the problem, no pun intended. And this DynCorp is a mechanism for controlling police forces. And JTTF is the way the FBI CIA has infiltrated into the FBI, and it crushes good agents. And a lot of it uses people as sex slaves to create entrapment schemes, and then some of them become female assassins, and then they're killed. This is a bad operation, okay? I know a lot of that seems a little far-fetched, but the way this is unwound is by going to all the DynCorp contracts that he has. These are public contracts. They have to be let out to be public, okay? And then matching up sex crimes with every contract. Everywhere there's a DynCorp contract for policing, as I've mentioned before, you're going to have sex crimes. And the public, once they understand that that has not changed since Cynthia McKinney said that, 15 years ago or 10 years ago, or however long it was, they have to investigate it. And then the next slide I'm going to show is the fact that the black budget, Catherine Austin Fitts identified that DynCorp was responsible for managing the money for the black budget all around the world for these 30 agencies, including Department of Defense, Central Intelligence Agency, Department of Justice, FBI, SEC, and HUD, as well as you're going to see U.S. Bureau of Prisons and all these other ones, 30 different agencies. That's where the black budget is. If Trump wants to find the 6.5 trillion, missing trillion in the budget, he has to go into this black budget and at least publish metadata and say, well, DOD spent, 2 trillion and CIA spent 500 million and DOJ spent 300 million, and break it down. At least break that down and give that metadata to the auditor, a government accounting office. That's how this breaks down. This is the same way they got Al Capone. Elliot Ness got Al Capone on tax evasion, not by catching him in the act of any crime. This is the way that this is going to fall apart. Pressure needs to be on Trump to publish the black budget, and it starts with an audit of what happened to the 6.5 trillion. And it's unfortunately very, very easy. All you have to do is go to the PROMIS software, PROMIS software that DynCorp uses to manage all this. It's kind of like going to your bank application on your phone. It tells you where all the puts and gets are. It tells you where all the deposits and expenditures are. You can just follow the ledger. I mean, this is very simple. This is going to be in Palantir. The Palantir is kind of like the Prism update that Snowden talked about. It's a search. It's a search and connect the dots engine to all this money. So Palantir will tell you all this as well. It's just that simple. It's going to be in the Promise software. It's an easy case to break. So for all those folks who think this is impossible, this has been done. FBI's been doing this for years. You get to the bank account, everything falls out. They know where all the accounts are, by the way. The other thing that causes everything to fall out, as I've said before, is these 650,000 emails. Now we know there's one person who is standing up with integrity, this Robert Boyce, and he is the one who has seen the 650,000 emails. And he has said, oh, by the way, I just want everybody to know that this is going to solve a lot of cases, not just one or two. Council on Foreign Relations. So the David Rockefeller to Henry Kissinger, the next level down is Pug Winokur, Council on Foreign Relations. And then on kind of a same side bar is going to be Steve Feinberg. So anyway, that's what makes this actually very easy to solve. He is the one who has seen the emails. He is the one who has said child exploitation, sex crimes, perjury, obstruction of justice, money laundering, pay to play. He's a 40-year veteran, Chief of Detectives at New York PD. Preet Bharara is still looking at his picture over here on the wall with the blue contacts. We also know that we have the cell phone records of all the conspirators. It's not going to just be these 3 conspirators. It's going to be all 19 of those people. It's all 19 of the people in the State Department, as well as all the generals in the Petraeus sex case that's been sealed. All Trump has to do is unseal that case. And all the records in Hillary server and Huma server. All these 2FROMs, all this metadata, that's why I keep saying metadata. It's going to tell you who all of the DynCorp conspirators are. And it's all going to fall out, very simply, just even with metadata. Because if we even get the metadata of the cell phones, the locations, and match those up with the emails, so that's how. So going back, I just want to explain, the way that Enron was broken. Okay, so Pug Winokur was at Enron, and Ken Lay was the CEO. So he was handling the same role at Enron as he has with the 30 U.S. government agencies. He was the financial overseer of Enron. So the same kind of, web of companies that he created, a company creates another 10 and those 10 create another 10, that kind of thing, and then collapse them all as you keep moving the money up and collapse them all until you it's kind of like folding up chairs after a choir performance. You keep moving the money along till you got the last bucket, and then you take the last bucket. That's Pug Winokur's MO. Same thing for the U.S. federal agencies. Same thing. Keep moving the money, and so Ken Lay, you're going to find that he was supposedly cremated in Aspen, Colorado, and they have a 24-hour. They can cremate the body within 24 hours. That whole conspiracy theory. Well, you're going to find that's why. We're coming into it. We're getting to the medical school there. We're getting to the medical school. Don't worry. And we're getting to General Stanley McChrystal too. But I just have to take these one at a time. So getting back to DynCorp, all these things are DynCorp. Okay, the black budget is DynCorp. The 650,000 emails is DynCorp. Okay, these are the things DynCorp does. Okay, so why wouldn't we use that? These 2 terabytes of email that Hillary destroyed between 1993 and 2001, DynCorp. 6.5 million missing, and there it is right there, 3 classified programs. One of those programs, they're going to be the Gladio programs, A, B, and C. I don't know what they're going to be called. I know one is probably still Gladio, and then Gladio B was the other name. And I think the third one's going to be JTTF, or a code name for JTTF. For the U.S. program. Most of the money is going to be spent in the U.S. You have to think of it like if you're a DOD and a planner. If you're going to put, let's say, 500,000 or 350,000 young men a year into Vietnam, okay, and that's halfway around the world, size of California, for whatever resources that is, and I can go into Vietnam later. But how many are you willing to put in to guard the United States against overthrow? 2 million a year? $1 million a year? Who knows? I mean, this is where the money's going. About half of this is going to be U.S. The other, well, maybe a third. A third for Europe and a third for the rest of the world is my guess on this. But it's easy. All you have to do is look at the Promise software and it'll break it right out. There's a whole bunch of people that have touched the Promise software. It's not like there's 3 guys in the back room just, with green eye shades looking at the Promise software. Promise software gets touched by a lot of different agencies. And again, that's why I keep going to the Jack Lews of the Treasury or the Robert Rubins of the Treasury. The Treasury knows this stuff. They can track this stuff. You can subpoena this stuff. There's puts and gets. There's deposits and expenditures. So again, this is going to be DynCorp. This Presidential Directive 62, this disruption program that killed Gary Webb, killed Michael Rupert, the slow kill program, that's going to be DynCorp. I'm just showing you different DynCorp expenditures so that it's going to help break this out. The Jeffrey, all the brownstone operations, the whole McDonald's franchise is going to be DynCorp, okay? You're going to have DynCorp helicopters, DynCorp boats, DynCorp this, DynCorp that, but it's all going to be, all these CIA brownstones are going to be DynCorp, okay? Here we go again. She was a DynCorp, she was working for a guy from DynCorp. She was the one who uncovered the human trafficking. It's not just Hillary. It's not just, now Bushes are going to have their own people. Hillary's going to have her own people. They keep it separate. They keep it compartmentalized. But I'm telling you, it's going to, all the GPS, all the phones, Carlos Slim, that whole operation for South America, DynCorp. All we have to do is just do Pug Winokur, in quotes, AND for Google search, and then say Carlos Slim, and watch the results come back. Or Laura Silsby, or her new name, Laura Saylor. Or just take anybody in this series and add Pug Winokur to it. Those are puzzle pieces. But you start at the heart of the puzzle. You start at the middle of the, well, I know at most puzzles you start at the edges, but this one you start in the middle because he's the key. And then you build out from there. And you're going to see that all the people in the Council on Foreign Relations is the first little piece of the puzzle, like the Monica Petersen part of this picture. And then you're going to build out from there. And it just falls out. Once Trump does the audit of the Fed, it's over. Because then you're going to see the dark money. But if you get into the Promise software, that's the other way to do it. So all this sex trafficking in every one of the conflict zones is going to be DynCorp. The organ harvesting is going to be DynCorp. All these fake NGOs, white helmets and so forth, DynCorp. I think we've proven that over and over. Just DynCorp body bags. Wherever you see DynCorp body bags, you're going to see drugs coming in the body cavities. Team Rubicon, DynCorp. Peter Thiel, founder, whatever, Planeteer, DynCorp. So the harvesting, the anti-aging, this is Braverman, Dr. Eric Braverman, the whole anti-aging program, DynCorp. It's the missing $6.5 trillion. All this. This is all supply chain. This is the sales side of the organ business, okay? And it's Happy Hearts. There are all these double entendres like Happy Hearts. We're going to save all of these people. We're going to give them second life. They're great people. They're great scientists. Like Stephen Hawking is going to be a great example. He should have died a long time ago, right? But we kept Stephen Hawking alive. There's going to be another person. We kept David Rockefeller alive. What a great mind. So it's kind of a self-congratulatory circle of all the people that they gave second life to. You're going to find all these double entendres on second, like Second Mile with Sandusky at Penn State, so forth. We're going to give life extension to all these great people. So that's the rationalization for, and those people, it's compartmentalized again. Don't know that the organs are coming from conflict zones. That's the key, that's the beauty or the sinister nature of the CIA operations. It's compartmentalized. Somebody asked me, said, well, this can't be true information, otherwise he'd be dead. Well, if you tell the story too fast, you do end up dead. And Michael Hastings is a great example, and Paul Walker is a similar example. Now, he wasn't a reporter, but he was about ready to tell the story as well about Haiti. So you do end up dead if you tell the story too fast. That's why I tell the story slowly. And they have a slow kill program, and they use folks like this who are what the CIA calls revenge groups. And they convince them that you've done something horrible and that these groups exact revenge on you by disrupting your life, by, they'll even to the point of, well, sleeping with his, sorry, they used a prostitute from Colombia to start making out with him and all that and going out with him, and that broke up his marriage, okay? So they'll use that as the first wedge to break up the marriage. Then the job, they'll use all the reporters they've got to attack him. That's what the Los Angeles Times did. They attacked his character, so he lost his job at the San Jose Mercury News. And it's this gradual, everywhere you go for a job after that, then they start undermining wherever your job is. And again, you end up in the trailer at some friend's house after you're out of money, and then they start with attacking your health. But it's a very planned out, long descent of disruption and death. So that's why Trump really needs to think about publishing at least the metadata on the 650,000 emails, because it'll show. Now, he may be one of the names, I doubt it, because he goes all the way back to 1993, but at least that will put everyone who's giving him crap right now and doesn't want him to, drain the swamp. It'll put everyone on notice to say, look, buddy, I've got you, Rubio, I've got you, Lindsey Graham, I've got you, McCain, I've got you. And it'll give Trump a lot of power just by publishing the metadata. I'm trying to come up with a solution here where we end the crime syndicate and we stop the anti-Trump, constant, day one overthrow, this information overthrow that they're trying to do. And yet Trump still doesn't have the stuff about him come out. And the happy medium, people ask me, why always on the metadata? I think a metadata is a happy medium to then being able to drill down into the dark budget. Okay, because you're never going to solve any of this with the dark budget. If the Federal Reserve can always go print $2 trillion on the side and do whatever they want, whatever Trump does, he's dealing with the known budget. He doesn't have any idea what's happening over here on the Fed side. So, okay, I probably went extra long, so I'll stop there.